Hi, and welcome to a new episode of Hispanic Marketing in 5 minutes with Hop Group. As always, Carolina Fernández, CEO of Hop Group, sharing insights, sharing interesting content that might be valuable for you and for your company. If you're thinking about getting better results within the Hispanic market in the US, or maybe you're not sure if it's the right way to go. And today's episode, I want to talk about something interesting and something very important because if, as a brand, you're thinking about allocating a little bit of that budget that you have for marketing and advertising towards Hispanics, it's important that you're aware the opportunities that this specific audience has for you instead of just kind of like replicating what you're doing for the general market and then just doing it in Spanish just because it's a different language. And that's why it's so important, and that's why I love sharing this content and all these insights with you every week, because it's what we discuss at the agency every day. It's what we talk about with clients, the research that we do for clients. And Hispanics they continuously show and they open up opportunities that are very specific for their audience. Now, today's topic is basically the fact that Hispanics are more online than any other audience. Most Hispanics spend more time online than many other audiences in the U.S. And the concept is your brand sharing those channels with them in the appropriate way. And that's very important. And the first thing and something to be aware of is that Hispanics, more than any other audience, they love Hispanic relevant content. Other audiences, they like content in their own language or with their own cultural traits, but Hispanics, more than any other market out there, they love Hispanic relevant content, even if they're U.S. born, even if they're English dominant. And how to make relevant content for Hispanics depends a lot on language, a lot on the traditions that Hispanics have, and I've talked a lot about those insights in other videos. But basically, and the main concept that I want to leave with you today is that if you're thinking about marketing to Hispanics, online channels and especially social networks are a perfect fit for your brand or for your company to connect with them. Now, again, I love sharing data with you because statistics are really important here to find these opportunities. Now, it's many research has been done, and Nielsen published research about this specific topic. And basically, most Hispanics spend more time on social networks than non-Hispanic whites. And just take a look at the numbers. 52 of Hispanics, 18 and over, spend 1 or more hours on social networks, compared to just 38% of non-Hispanic whites who are 18 or over. They spend less, not 1 hour or more on social networks. Now, let's go a little bit higher. What happens when we start analyzing opportunities for Hispanics or the Hispanic audience in social networks? 24% of Hispanics in the U.S. spend 3 or more hours on social networks, and this is every day, compared to just 13% of non-Hispanic whites who spend 3 or more hours on social networks. So the difference, it's a big difference, and there's an interesting opportunity there for brands to start generating Hispanic relevant content and to be present on social networks. Now, another very interesting fact, and it opens up an interesting opportunity, is that the fact that Hispanics share their content through social networks to their friends, to their families, to their groups 5 times more than non-Hispanic whites. That means that if you're sharing relevant content for them, if you're really relating to them in appropriate ways, they're willing naturally to share your content, your brand's message with their friends, with their families, and that makes them potential micro-influencers for your brand, which is something that opens up a huge option of opportunities for the way that you communicate, for selling, for improving brand loyalty, and all kinds of marketing objectives. That's a big opportunity for brands out there. Now, what are the social networks that Hispanics are mostly spending this time in. It's Facebook, it's Instagram, and it's YouTube. So if your brand is thinking about communicating to Hispanics in a very specific way, think about those social networks. Think about the difference in the time that they spend on those social networks, the possibility that concept of sharing content that Hispanics like, because that's a big opportunity for brands out there within the Hispanic market. Our 5 minutes are up for today. I hope that you find this content important, interesting. As always, if you have questions, if you have comments, don't hesitate to text me, send me a message, visit our website. It's right on the screen. If you want to start thinking about the Hispanic market as part of your big marketing strategy, we would love to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week in another episode of Hispanic Marketing in 5 minutes with Hub Group. Carolina Fernández, CEO of Hub Group. Ciao.